This is Nick.
Kristen,
and Amanda, and we're going to be discussing how to help you prepare a legal brief.
Case law can sometimes be complicated to understand, and it's important to realize why briefs are an important educational tool.
3 key purposes of a legal brief are to allow you to summarize and condense arguments and court findings that allow you to analyze key legal issues, comprehend new legal terms that you may never have heard of,
and to gain an understanding of legal jargon or legalese. Lawyers have a unique way of writing, and it takes adequate time to fully understand it.
The case we'll be using as an example is the Connecticut Department of Public Safety versus John Doe. This is a case that deals with the implications of Megan's Law.
There are multiple ways to prepare a legal brief, and every professor may have their own template for creating one. What we are going to be looking for in this brief is firstly the case name, which is going to include which parties are involved in the case and the court that presided over it, as well as the year it took place.
We will also be looking for an illustration,
facts,
prior proceedings,
issue and ruling.
and lastly, the court's rationale.
An illustration within a brief is looking for the main issue you can categorize the case by.
The facts of a brief are the aspects or events that drove the case before the court. You can read the facts of the Department of Public Safety versus John Doe's facts below. Prior proceedings are what has happened procedurally in a case up until this point. In this case, it would be all prior court proceedings up until the Supreme Court.
The issue is a one-sentence question that is being placed before the court, while the ruling is the court's decision.
Finally, the rationale. Now this is an aspect of every brief you'll encounter, and honestly, it takes practice to master how to do it correctly. A rationale simply describes why the court ruled the way they did. It can describe how they applied rule of law, precedent of other courts' opinions and reasoning, or their own personal opinions. You can see an example of a rationale below.
Briefing tips.
Don't be afraid to highlight. It could really help you to highlight important pieces of information to keep track of what you're reading. Try assigning a different color highlighter for each part of the brief.
Definitions.
If you're new to case law, there'll be many words that are new to you, and they may not make any sense yet. Don't be intimidated by creating a definition page and looking up words that you don't understand.
Hopefully this presentation will help you feel confident in creating a legal brief.